#1 in Central California. This is ABC30 Action News, AM Live.
At 6 a.m., we continue to track breaking news out of Fresno County. Highway 41 is closed at Central after a crash involving 3 big rigs and a pickup. This all happened around 3 this morning. And as you can see here from this video, some fog was in the area at the time.
So let's get right to our team live coverage on the crash and the foggy roads. Meteorologist Shelby Latino is in our Storm 130 Center with our exclusive fog tracker to get you through it. CHP officer Scott Jobinger is also tracking the possible commuting problems. But let's start with Action News reporter Amanda Venegas live at the scene of that multiple big rig crash. Amanda?
Margo and Jason, there is some fog in the area. There was some fog when this crash occurred, but the CHP does not believe it was a contributing factor to the crash. Now, we're live here right now on Highway 41. It's been shut down at Central. Take a look behind me. Crews have been trying to work on this fuel truck. It is empty. It was involved in the crash. The driver suffered major injuries. And just to the left, that's where you'll see that Foster Farms turkey truck. It suffered quite a bit of damage. There are about a dozen dead turkeys, and the driver of that turkey truck suffered major injuries. He's in the hospital. A very scary incident that unfolded here this morning. For more on the investigation, we now turn to Officer Axel Reyes with the California Highway Patrol. Tell us a little bit about what's going on now at the scene.
Right now, we're just trying to clear the scene with the semi-trucks, the 2 we still have left, the tanker truck and the Foster Farms turkey truck. The tanker truck has some extensive damage, not just to the front, but also to the trailers. So tow truck company's trying to get that cleared right now. Then after that, we'll clear up the turkey truck, which shouldn't take as long.
And you guys expect to be out here through about 7 o'clock. Tell us what unfolded this morning.
So basically about 3 o'clock this morning, we got the call of the collision out here. Upon our officer's arrival, they found the driver of the turkey truck, which was pinned in underneath the tire, basically the second axle of the truck. Where right now it appears that the driver of the turkey truck had pulled over for unknown reasons. He was outside the truck, and the tanker truck coming up came up, struck the back end of the turkey truck. At the same time, struck the driver, which was dragged and pinned underneath the tire. After that, we had a small pickup truck that collided with the tanker truck, as well as a second Foster Farms truck carrying chickens that struck the tanker truck as well. The driver of the tanker truck also suffered major injuries. The driver of the pickup truck had minor injuries, come complain of pain. Driver of the second Foster Farms truck, no injuries, and they're able to drive that vehicle off.
All right, thanks so much for your time, Officer Reyes from the California Highway Patrol. This time they do not believe fog was a contributing factor to this accident, but they are looking into it and getting eyewitness reports. Now, we just want to remind you, 2 of the drivers suffered major injuries. They're in the hospital in Fresno. Now, I just spoke with a Foster Farms representative who's on scene. I asked for a comment. They said, we have nothing to say about this, but right now our thoughts are with our driver who has suffered major injuries. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Amanda, thank you.
And our team coverage continues now with CHP Officer Scott Jobinger tracking traffic in that same area and other locations, of course, for you in the valley. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, definitely a busy situation out there. Definitely want to avoid that area, and we'll take you for a live look via the live traffic tracker to show you the area there. Northbound 41 still closed at Central. They expect that to be closed for a couple hours, as you just heard, and definitely want to avoid that area if you possibly can. They do have a detour route. You can use Elm or Cherry up to North Avenue and back onto the northbound 41 at that location, but just be aware that you'll experience some delays northbound 41 right there at Central this morning. The rest of your drive is looking pretty good. There are some foggy conditions around, so definitely leave with some extra time this morning and slow down. That's a look at your traffic. I'll send it over back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Scott, thank you. All right, let's now check in with Action News meteorologist Shelby Latino. She is tracking the foggy commute this morning. Good morning, Shelby.
Good morning, Margo. Good morning, Jason. As Scott mentioned, as you just mentioned, we are seeing some fog out there and some dense patches as well. So you want to take some extra time on the roads this morning. Near zero visibility in Visalia, near zero visibility in Madera as well. But we're looking at a 1/4 mile in Merced, Hanford, and Lemoore. Porterville, the only spot on the map, up to 9-mile visibility. So looking pretty clear as you wake up in Porterville this morning. Foggy day delays continue to roll in to the Action Newsroom. So be sure you check the bottom of your screen or go online to our website. You can find the information on whether your school is on this list there as they continue to come in this morning. Dense fog advisory in effect until 10 a.m. for the entire valley. Visibility's widespread, less than a quarter of a mile, locally dropping below 500 feet, which of course makes it difficult to drive in, so you'll want to take some extra time. Live radar showing nothing in the way of rainfall to make those roads slick this morning, though. We'll be dry throughout the day. Just looking at some clouds and mild temperatures. Margot?
Shelby, thank you. New this morning, the country of Jordan is apparently ready to go through with a prisoner swap with the terrorist group ISIS. ISIS released another new video yesterday of a Japanese hostage showing a picture of another captive who is said to be a pilot from Jordan. The government of Jordan says it has agreed to release an Iraqi woman in exchange for the pilot's release. The woman had been sentenced to death in Jordan for a terror attack in 2005. Meantime, the Japanese hostage in the video says he will be killed tonight if Japan's government does not negotiate with the terrorists.
Action News time now, 6:06. Coming up, a deadly overnight crash in the Sanger area. What officials are saying about the investigation and a power outage.
Getting fit with fitness trackers next on AM Live.
Thanks, Rhonda. But first, here's a live look at conditions in the North Valley from our Merced Skycam in HD. Foggy day schedules at the bottom of your screen, on our website, and on our mobile apps. Your AccuWeather forecast with what you need to know to make it through your morning commute.
Nothing else like it.
This is ABC30 Action News AM Live with Margot Kim, Jason Oliveira, and meteorologist Shelby Latino with the Storm 130 forecast.
All right, welcome back here. It's now 6:10. Thank you for waking up with us this morning. Shelby Latino is back from vacation and back just in time for some more fog this morning.
Yes, well, technically I got back yesterday, so I like to think that I brought back the rain that we all enjoyed yesterday, but a lot of people accusing me of bringing back the fog, so if so, I'm sorry. Let's get to the fog tracker, though. We've got to show you where we're seeing those dense patches. Right now, we're seeing near zero visibility in some spots, and if we go ahead, we are seeing it in Visalia. We're seeing near zero visibility in Madera as well, and a quarter of a mile right now in Merced, Hanford, and Lemoore. Scott Jobbinger has a look at that traffic. Let's get over to him now. Scott?
Good morning, Shelby. Good morning, everyone. Let's go right out to that live traffic tracker this Wednesday and get you updated on what's happening for your Wednesday morning drive. It's been a pretty busy one. The fog has returned, as Shelby said, so give yourself some extra time. That is a look at your traffic. I'll send it back to Jason and Margot in the studio.
Scott, thank you.
All right, today's Wednesday. You know what that means here on AM Live. It's Workout Wednesday, and this morning we're going high tech.
Action News fitness expert Rhonda Murphy joins us live this morning, showing us the latest gadgets that can help you stay on track. Good morning, Rhonda.
Good morning, Margot and Jason. What we're talking about is how are we going to track our progress, and that's the big key. So what I did, I've been doing my research, and what I did for you to keep in shape, lose body fat, and stay on track. Margot and Jason, back to you.
All right, Rhonda, so now we know what to get you for your birthday, since today is your birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm 25 again and again, plus one.
I think we all are. Thanks, Rhonda. Happy birthday.
All right, happy birthday, Rhonda.
You got it.
Action News time is now 6:15. Still ahead, the changes coming to the Obama administration later today.
Plus, why history could be made on Capitol Hill today as the president's pick for Attorney General gets closer to taking the post.
And I'm Amanda Venegas live on Highway 41 northbound in Fresno County, where the CHP has shut down this portion of the road after a major crash involving several vehicles, including a turkey and chicken truck. All the details coming up.
24/7.
New this morning at 6:18, President Obama is back at the White House after arriving back home from Saudi Arabia overnight. Later today, the president will speak at a ceremony in Washington, D.C. for outgoing Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel. Meantime, the president's pick for Attorney General faces some tough questioning by the Senate today. Loretta Lynch is expected to win confirmation, which would make her the first African-American woman to hold the position.
Now it's time for your accurate the forecast from the Storm 130 Center. Let's check in with Shelby Latino now. And Shelby, what type of fog are you seeing outside? Is it valley-wide?
Yeah, looking valley-wide, Jason, but we're seeing some dense patches within that. So we've got near zero visibility in Visalia, down like we just get a little break from the clouds on Friday and Saturday. yesterday. That's a look at your weather. Margot and Jason, back to you.
Shelby, thank you.
And still to come here on Action News AM Live, Tiger Woods opens up about his recent dental dilemma.
Also ahead, the suspect who stole a police car with her hands cuffed behind her back, and the dash cam video that captured it all.
That make it possible.
Hey, welcome back. It's now 6:24. Check this out. Video from a police car cam dash in Pennsylvania. Now, it's actually a woman behind the wheel. Apparently, she still had her handcuffs on. She was actually handcuffed behind her back, if you could believe that. So she's driving with her knees. Authorities said they pulled her over after a shoplifting report, and she was somehow able to make her way from the back of the police car to the driver's seat. Authorities say she hit up to speeds of 100 miles per hour, as I said, maneuvering it with her legs. After driving for nearly 10 miles, she tried jumping out of the car and running away, but was arrested. How do you do that?
Her last name must be Houdini.
Something like that. Wow, okay. Tiger Woods preparing for his first tournament of the year after that dental dilemma a couple of weeks ago. Remember, he had a missing tooth.
Yeah, well, the pro golfer had his tooth knocked out by a cameraman in Italy. And he was there, of course, Tiger was, to surprise his girlfriend, Lindsey Vonn, at a ski race when the mishap happened. Yesterday, Tiger opened up for the first time about the accident and his toothless trip home.
Oh, Jesus, the flight home was a joke. I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink until he fixed them, until I put the temporaries on. I couldn't have anything touch it, even breathing hurt, because any kind of air rushed over the nerve of the tooth that was still alive, but it was cracked.
Woods is set to make his first appearance this season at a tournament in the Phoenix area this coming weekend.
Tiger's leaner, he's stronger. He says he's hitting the ball further than he has in years, so we'll see what happens. Tiger says he's in the best shape of his life. We'll see what happens. All right, 6:25 right now. Coming up in our next half hour, what investigators are saying about a deadly overnight crash in Sanger.
Plus, heroes in action, the incredible rescue video from the Fresno Fire Department, and how crews are now getting nationwide attention for it.
A truck driver is in the hospital after being hit and dragged right here on Highway 41. I'm Amanda Venegas. Coming up, I'll have more on the crash and the highway closure.
Thank you, Amanda. But first, here's a look at this morning's technology news.
Hey, good morning. In today's Tech Bites, another knockout performance from Apple.
Yeah, the company earned $18 billion 24/7.
ABC30 Action News AM Live starts now with 15 minutes of non-stop news.
At 6:30, we're now tracking breaking news that could impact your morning commute. Highway 41 is closed right now at Central in Fresno County after a crash involving 3 big rigs and a pickup truck. One of the semi-trucks was hauling fuel. The other was carrying live poultry.
And we have live team coverage now. Valley roads are also seeing fog this morning. Meteorologist Shelby Latino has our exclusive fog tracker. She's watching that morning commute. CHP Officer Scott Jovinger is also tracking those possible problems. But first, let's start with Action News reporter Amanda Venegas live at the scene of that big rig crash. Amanda?
Margo and Jason, things have calmed down a little here on Highway 41 North as crews continue to work to try to remove this fuel truck. But earlier, it was filled with chaos. 4 vehicles all involved in an accident. That includes a turkey truck, a chicken truck, this empty tanker, and another pickup truck on its way. As you can see, this turkey truck is carrying a load of live turkeys to their facility, the Foster Farms facility in Turlock. The driver of the turkey truck is suffering from major injuries right now and is in a hospital. We have 2 people in the hospital with major injuries. This all unfolded this morning around 3 o'clock. It shut down the highway for now. For the latest on this investigation, let's turn over to Officer Axel Reyes. Thank you for updating us this morning. Can you tell us what's going on here at the scene right now?
Right now, we're just about clearing up with the 1 tanker truck. We still have the Foster Farms turkey truck that we need to clear out. So we're anticipating at least another hour and a half of road being closed. And again, it's only northbound 41, just north of Central.
Yeah, can I ask you more about the turkey truck driver and the other driver? 2 of them suffering major injuries. What have you learned that's unfolded?
So far we understand is the Foster Farms turkey truck. The driver had pulled off on the shoulder, got out for unknown reasons at this time. That's when the tanker truck came and struck the back end of the turkey truck. It caught the driver and actually pinned the driver underneath one of the tires, which unfortunately was stuck underneath and pinned underneath for about an hour. Fresno County Fire was out here. They were able to get the driver out, and he was rushed to CRMC.
And as far as the fall fog. I know there are some foggy conditions. Is that a factor of this?
You know, at this point, no. Upon arrival for the officers, just talking to them, they said the conditions were at least 500 feet visibility, so we don't see that being a factor at this point.
All right, thanks so much for all your help and updating us on the latest. They expect Highway 41 northbound at Central to be closed down until about 7 o'clock, so stay with us for more information on this case. But once again, there were 3 people injured, one of them minor injuries, but 2 of the truck drivers, the turkey truck driver and the fuel truck driver, both suffering major injuries in the hospital in Fresno. Reporting live in Fresno County, Amanda Venegas, ABC30 Action News.
All right, Amanda, thank you.
And our team coverage continues with CHP Officer Scott Jomiger with details now on the Highway 41 closure and other issues you may encounter on your way into work or school this morning. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Taking a look at that Wednesday morning drive. If, as you just saw, northbound 41 remains closed. We go out for an overview of that area on live traffic tracker. The northbound lanes are closed at Central. They are diverting traffic either on Elm or Cherry north to North Avenue, and you can get back onto northbound 41 at that location. But definitely give yourself some extra time or avoid that area altogether. As I said, at least an hour, hour and a half before they get that reopened. It's just the northbound lanes through that area, but definitely going to take you some extra time to get through there this morning. We'll also take you for a live look outside. This is going to be at 41 and Bullard. Also reports of a vehicle up the embankment at that location. CHP is headed to check on that as well this morning, so be careful there. That's a look at your traffic, folks. Buckle up, slow down. As you can see, some fog out there as well. I'll send it back to Jason and Margot in the studio.
Scott, thank you. Continuing our team coverage on your morning drive, meteorologist Shelby Latino has our exclusive fog tracker to show you those current conditions. Shelby?
Thanks, Margot. Jason, it's looking pretty foggy out there, and we're going to see those patches getting even worse as we get closer to sunrise. So let's take a look at fog tracker, where we're seeing near zero visibility in Visalia and Madera. Fresno down to 1/16 of a mile, and we're looking at Hanford and Lemoore down to 1/4 of a mile, including Merced down to 1/4 of a mile as well, and Porterville at 6 miles visibility, so looking good compared to the rest of the valley there in Porterville. But this dense fog advisory is valley-wide. We're seeing those widespread visibility values less than 1/4 of a mile. Locally, visibility is dropping less than 500 feet. Of course, it would be very difficult to drive in those conditions, so make sure that you take some extra time on the roads or try to postpone your travels this morning if you can to kind of wait out this fog. But live radar is showing clear skies from any rain. We're certainly seeing a lot of cloud cover out there, though, and that's going to be from our next rainmaker that's going to move into Southern California. Unfortunately, the rain is going to miss us. The Sierra could see a few showers tomorrow and into Friday, but right now it's looking like the valley is going to stay dry. Temperatures are in the 40s, expecting to get into the 50s this afternoon. Jason?
Shelby, thank you. Also new this morning, authorities are investigating an overnight crash that killed a man in Sanger. It happened around 12:30 this morning in the area of Newmark and Rainbow Avenues. Authorities say a driver lost control and ended up crashing into a wire that holds up a power pole. The victim was not wearing a seatbelt and died at the scene. The crash left hundreds of nearby residents in the dark. PG&E is still working to restore the power. The cause of the crash is under investigation, but authorities believe speed may be to blame.
Investigators are looking into a hit-and-run crash that killed a young girl in Madera County. Authorities say Denise Zuniga was driving in the area of Avenue 8 and Road 25 on Sunday when she ran a stop sign. They say she hit another car that had 3 people inside it. A 10-year-old girl who was a passenger in that car died at the scene. Her father and sister suffered injuries. Zuniga is now facing charges for leaving the scene.
Unfortunately, in this situation, Ms. Zuniga, if she had stayed at the scene, due to the fact that we don't suspect any alcohol or any other things, she would have been possibly not facing any or minimal charges.
Authorities also arrested Jose Magdaleno. It's unclear what his relationship is to Zuniga, but authorities say he was following her the night of the crash and helped her leave the scene.
Also this morning, we're getting a new look at the chaotic moments just before 3 young children were rescued from a fire. This video here was recently released by the Fresno Fire Department. It shows them rushing into a burning apartment in southwest Fresno this past Sunday. Firefighters say at first they didn't know 3 kids were inside, and the nature of the fire made the situation even more difficult.
It's zero visibility inside the building, so we're kind of using, putting our hands on the walls, feeling down the walls, trying to recognize objects.
The children, who are 1, 3, and 4 years old, were found unconscious and alone in the apartment. They were taken to Valley Children's Hospital, where they're still listed in critical condition. They're currently under the care of Child Protective Services while police investigate where their mother was at the time of the fire.
A warning from local health officials this morning after 2 people in Fresno died from the flu. The 2 men are the first to die this year in the county. Officials say they were part of a group of 10 people who had to be admitted into intensive care with flu-related complications. Doctors say the 2 men who died were dealing with other health issues such as asthma and high blood pressure.
One death was a person in their 40s and one was a person in their 50s. Both had chronic medical conditions that made them higher risk for serious complications from influenza. At this time, we are not sure of the status for a flu vaccine this year, but we know that one of the deaths did not get a flu vaccine. When people see that,
Fresno County health officials say it's not too late to get vaccinated against this year's flu season, even though they say the vaccination this year is not as effective as in years past.
And a South Valley Gentlemen's Club will soon be able to reopen. The Tulare County Board of Supervisors has voted in favor of Saints and Sinners. The strip club has been closed for more than a year now after its business license renewal was denied. The sheriff's office says the club had problems with underage drinking and drug abuse, but the club filed an appeal with the Board of Supervisors saying the club had fixed all of its issues. Authorities say they support the board's decision and will do whatever they can to make sure it's a safe place.
Hopefully the business owner abides by the rules and regulations, and if not, we'll make sure that we document that for future reference.
It's unclear exactly when, but the owner of Saints and Sinners says the club could reopen within just a few days. All right, taking a live look outside now. It's about that time. This is what it looks like from our Visalia Cahuilla Delta Medical Center Skycam in HD. Not much fog by this vantage point, but Shelby Latino is here from the Storm Warning 30 Center to let us know where you may see some fog this morning. Shelby?
Good morning, Jason. Yeah, the denser fog in that area is really closer to the airport, so downtown Visalia looking okay as well. That's a look at your weather. Marco and Jason, back to you.
Shelby, thank you.
All right, happening now. Snow continues to fall in some parts of the East Coast this morning.
That giant storm has been moving through, dumping several inches of snow in the northeastern part of the country. Areas in Massachusetts and Maine reported record-breaking numbers. But many airports that were affected by the storm are now back in business, and public transportation is up and running again this morning. ABC's Susan Solney joins us live now with details on the cleanup and the aftermath and why more snow may be on the way. Susan?
Good morning, Margot. The blizzard might not have lived up to all the forecasts, but it still delivered a wallop to a lot of the Northeast. Millions of people in New England are waking up this morning under a paralyzing blanket of snow, up to 3 feet where the blizzard of 2015 did its worst damage, and in some areas, the snow is still falling.
In many parts of Massachusetts, I think you could call it, in fact, an historic event.
The blizzard pummeled Boston, where snowfall might shatter records today.
We're still in the middle of a winter storm of historic proportions here in the city of Boston.
One snowbound resident shot this time-lapse video of her backyard deck disappearing in a mere 24 hours. Some 30,000 homes and businesses in the Boston Cape Cod area lost power, including the entire island of Nantucket. It suffered a whiteout with nearly 80-mile-per-hour winds. The blizzard flooded the coastal town of Marshfield. A stretch of seawall crumbled and the ocean poured in.
This is horrible. We walked this wall yesterday and it's gone.
On eastern Long Island, an army of snowplows worked to clear highways. In Connecticut, snow buried cars. The big blizzard's unexpected eastward shift saved New York City and Philadelphia the worst of it. And in New Hampshire, they even had a little fun.
Oh, it was worth it. Better than being cooped up at home shoveling.
Forecasters say that lingering cold will make cleanup difficult. The white stuff might not be going anywhere soon. Blowing and drifting snow continue to make it very dangerous to be outside in much of the Northeast. Reporting live in Washington, Susan Solney, Action News AM Live. Margot, Jason?
Susan, thank you.
All right, Action News time now, 6:43. Coming up next on AM Live, the new feature at McDonald's that could allow you to customize your burger.
Plus, Ken Stocks make up for lost ground after a bad day yesterday. So far, so good. We're up 69 points. We'll bring you those numbers in a live report from New York City.
This is ABC30 Action News AM Live with Margot Kim, Jason Oliveira, and meteorologist Shelby Latino with the Storm 130 forecast.
All right, new this morning, we're learning who will make up the all-female cast for the upcoming Ghostbusters reboot. The Hollywood Reporter says these 4 ladies here are expected to sign on for the project. They include Kristen Wiig, Leslie Jones, Kate McKinnon, and Melissa McCarthy. Now, the original Ghostbusters movie came out about 30 years ago, and we all remember featuring Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Ernie Hudson. Now, the reboot of the film is set to come out in July of next year.
Those are all funny ladies.
Yes, so it should be fun, you know. And in business news now, stocks are looking for a rebound after some huge losses yesterday.
We'll get to that story as well as a check on the numbers with Maribel Aber live at the NASDAQ market site in New York. Good morning, Maribel.
Hey, good morning to you, Margo and Jason. Yeah, what a day yesterday. The Dow was pretty much pummeled there. Wall Street waiting for the Federal Reserve statement on the economy later today with that in mind. But you know what? Stocks are starting in the green. The Dow up almost 60 points. NASDAQ up 44 and the S&P up 10. All right, last quarter, Apple smashed sales records by selling 74.5 million iPhones. That boosted revenue by 30%. Apple says it sold about 34,000 iPhones every hour of every day for the entire 3-month period. The tech giant also announced plans to put an Apple Watch on sale beginning in April. It will run about $349, but not only does it tell time, it does everything from monitor your heart rate to give you your text messages. And McDonald's is planning on installing self-order kiosks to try and improve accuracy of orders. This is according to the chain's CEO. Some McDonald's will even begin offering table service. Another change possible there, McDonald's testing customizable burgers, similar to, say, Five Guys or Smash Burger. These burgers are topped with premium ingredients and can take 7 minutes to make. Jason and Margo, you know, people like knowing that Mickey D's is affordable, so we'll see if any of these moves do anything to prices.
Yeah, we'll see how that dollar menu lasts with those changes. All right. Maribel, thank you.
All right, time now for traffic and weather together. Shelby Latino now joining us from the Storm 130 Center with your Wednesday morning forecast. Good morning, Shelby.
Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Margo. It's looking like a foggy start to our Wednesday, going to give way to cloud cover this afternoon. For the most part, we're dealing with those clouds. Let's get a check on that traffic now. Here's CHP Officer Scott Jobbinger with a look at those foggy roads this morning. Scott?
Good morning, Shelby. Good morning, everyone. Take a look at your Wednesday morning drive as we go out to the live traffic tracker, get you updated on what's happening around the valley. Starting out with that crash, there is a collision at that location. Tow trucks en route to the off-ramp there with a vehicle up the embankment there as well. And as you can see, pretty foggy through central Fresno at this time. So slow down out there. Keep your headlights turned on and low beams and drive safely. I'll send it back to Jason and Margo in the studio.
Scott, thank you.
All right, it's now 6:51 now. Next here on AM Live, we're tracking that breaking news that Scott just mentioned.
Amanda Venegas will be live with details on that big rig crash that's blocking Highway 41 in Fresno County.
All right, welcome back. It's now 6:54. We are tracking breaking news that could impact your morning commute.
We've been tracking this crash involving 3 big rigs and a pickup truck. It's all blocking Highway 41 near Central in Fresno County. Action News reporter Amanda Venegas has been at the scene throughout the morning, and now she's live with how much longer the road will be closed. Amanda?
Margo and Jason, extensive cleanup is underway on northbound Highway 41 north of Central, and we have to let you know the CHP now believes this cleanup could last until 7:30 or 8 for those commuting in the area. Take a look behind me. They cleared that tanker truck, but that turkey truck is still here, and you see the back end of this truck. That really is where the impact was. There are several dozen dead turkeys. Now, this accident all unfolded about 3 o'clock. I'm told the turkey truck driver was outside of his truck, had pulled off to the side of the road. Another truck came by, struck the driver of the turkey truck. He was dragged 30 feet and pinned underneath his own truck. Another Foster Farms chicken truck came up, was involved in the crash, and another pickup truck. That person suffered minor injuries. But the 2 truck drivers of the turkey truck and the tanker truck both suffered major injuries. Now, CAL FIRE got on scene. They had to work extensively to remove the turkey truck driver from his own truck. He was sent to a hospital in Fresno, and the CHP is following the latest on that. As far as this road closure, the CHP tells me they believe this could could last until 7:30 or 8. So for drivers, they might want to take a detour around the area. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Amanda, thanks for that update.
All right, now a final check of our weather with Shelby Latino.
Yeah, in addition to that accident, we're also seeing a lot of fog around the valley, which could slow down your commute. And you should slow down if you run into any of those dense patches because it's dangerous. Here's a look at near zero visibility in Hanford and Visalia near the airport. Downtown Visalia looking a little bit better than that, though. Madera just updated on your screen there. 1/4 mile visibility in both reporting locations in the North Valley now, but Fresno still down to a 1/16 of a mile at the airport. Lemoore at a 1/4 mile. Radar showing that we've got dry skies out there, and this dense fog advisory will last until 10 a.m. There's a look at your radar. Nothing in the way of rain. That rain of yesterday has pushed off, and it looks like it's going to be a while before we see it again. Dry skies for the rest of the 7-day forecast and temperatures in the 50s and 60s.
Shelby, thank you. Thanks for joining us here on AM Live. Good Morning America is next.
We'll see you again with more news, traffic, and weather at 7:25.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
#1 in Central California. This